Well, good Saturday morning to everybody. Yeah, hope you're enjoying your day. We're back to the cold weather, but it is almost December. Tomorrow. Can you believe that? Wow. So, reading through 1 Corinthians 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, and 8 today. And in these chapters, we're really dealing with heart matters. um, And Paul's dealing with a very difficult subject. It's difficult for us today. I think it was better understood back in the day, but today we find it difficult because we don't have the same understanding. My personal opinion, we do not have the same understanding of grace as how Paul presented it. And we continue to look for law and lawbreakers. And we, as I've talked about the last little while, we really struggle with the whole idea of relationship. It's relationship over the law. It's a relationship over the do's and don'ts. Um, yeah, and this is a tough balancing act when it comes to our knowledge and how we act upon it. It's very clear that Paul is talking about um, the difficulty that there is when people's hearts are not with God. Let's put it that way. There is. This doesn't mean that every time. Just looking for the words here. Okay, there's a difference between the rebellious and the immature. Let's put it that way. There's a difference between the rebellious and the immature. The immature will continue to mess up and will continue to stumble in places because it's natural as we are learning. We've likened it to learning a bike. You're going to fall at times. We've likened it to toddlers learning to walk. They're going to stumble sometimes. We've likened it being young and growing into greater maturity. The rebellious are those who set their heart against God, who know what is right and what is wrong, and purposely decide to live in the wrong. Not just to do it once, but to set their heart upon, I don't care what God says. I don't care what Father says. This is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do. Where they put their own personal desires upon, above the heart of our Father, above. See, love doesn't do that. And that puts us in a very precarious place. It puts us in a place of destruction, a place of rebellion, where the heart is just going to get harder and harder and colder and colder. And this is what Paul is talking about. He's not talking about the person who messes up, who you can come alongside, and who in a fatherly, loving way bring correction, not punishment, correction, as in this is actually what Dad desires. And sometimes we can actually say, this is the reason why Dad desires this. Sometimes we can't, but sometimes we can explain the reason why. And those who are immature, but who have a heart for Father, who are longing for Father, who are in love with Jesus Christ, will do the shift. And it's not according to a law, but according to a relationship. Oh, this is what Dad wants. Well, I want to live a life that pleases Dad, so this is what I want to do. And we have that capacity within us to do that thing, to make that decision, to say no to ourselves, to live in what He's given us. It's not a self-improvement thing. It's stepping into what He has already given us, stepping into the capacity that He has already given us. It's not a self-improvement thing. The rebellious are those who have that same capacity, but choose not to step into it and instead choose to pursue their personal desires, what they want. This is the rebellious. These are the ones that Paul is talking about. These are the ones that he says have nothing to do with them. These are the ones that he says, don't have fellowship. Don't let them come into the fellowship. because those who are like that tend to also want to teach others to go in that way. Um, and again, it's not a matter of a law, but of a relationship. It's a matter of a relationship. These we don't enter into these acts. We don't do these things. I mean, if we can use the sexual immorality, we we can't turn around and decide that we're going to have 4 or 5 different lovers in different places and still call ourselves Christians, follower of Jesus Christ, because this is not a behavior that pleases God. This is not his desire. This doesn't line up with him. And knowing that it doesn't line up with him and still doing that puts us in a place of rebellion. And as long as we live in that place of rebellion, our heart is going to grow harder and more calloused and unresponsive to the Holy Spirit, and we just become disconnected with God. And the way it works to justify ourselves, to make ourselves feel good about our rebellion, is we create our own doctrine, and we cause other people to fall into that thing with us. That's how it works. So that's the reason why Paul says, set them aside, have nothing to do with them. So I just want to draw the distinction here, because we have a whole bunch of people running around and just wanting to pounce over everybody. And can I just say that if you're not in relationship with that person, then you need to pray for them, but leave it for those who are in relationship with that person to do something about that. Because just because we see something doesn't mean that it is something for us to do something about it. Okay, except for need. Yeah, that's a different thing. When you see somebody hungry, and yeah, it's very difficult to come alongside a person in love and in a fatherly way, to help bring in some correction if you have no relationship with them. Okay, just saying. Anyway, I just hope that you can understand this. I hope you can understand the heart of Paul as he's writing this, and what the Holy Spirit was inspiring him to write. And I hope that you don't go off the deep end with this and start running after people. We are not sin conscious. We're Christ conscious. And as long as we're pursuing him, as long as we're wanting to live for him, in that relationship, then the Holy Spirit will take care of everything that we're out of step with. That's the way it works. It's the heart. It's the heart that matters, people. It's the heart. So you be blessed, be encouraged, have a great day, and I'm looking forward to gathering in tomorrow. God bless.